Making characters entirely out of rooms. Oh, whatever I'm gonna name this. I'm pretty tired. I've worked my 9 to 5, but we must persist. So I thought it'd be a really cool idea to make characters out of just pictures of interior environments and just design someone either who would be living in this space or just inspired by the general vibe or aesthetic of this space. With this kind of challenge, we have to start with Pinterest. I'll also preface this by saying I am not a character artist. Not a character artist, but I love these kind of challenges. I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to. And some of you might be saying, oh, well, why don't you just throw this into ChatGPT or whatever AI generator and then have it spew out something based off this exact prompt? That is no fun. Okay, sometimes fun is just doing it yourself. I like this interior. I'm gonna open some things up right now and then we'll go through and see what we kind of like. Okay, instantly I'm noticing a pattern. I don't know if this is tailored to just my preferences, but when I look up interior design, this might just be what's in right now. It's a lot of really warm colors. Maybe we can put in interesting interior design. Here we go. Here we go. That is the key. Interesting interior design. Also, apologies if I accidentally pull an AI image because that's all that seems to populate Pinterest these days. Excuse me if that's what happens. Oh, this is kind of fun. This is kind of fun already. I want to pick spaces that feel pretty different to each other. Ooh, holy moly. I love everything about this photo. So beautiful. I think I might move forward with this one. Or something similar, something involving stained glass. This feels more, I don't know how to describe this. It's very, would it be brutalist? Different textures, but not too contrasting. Color palette is pretty neutral with pops of warm, but what I'd consider still neutral reds and blues. Okay. I don't know. I feel like a businessman would live here, but like a really hot one, young one. He has some piercings. I might do this one. This one is so cute and fun. This feels very Easter. A lot of Easter themed. This is like an Easter room. I could see a cute little blondie living here. This reminds me, these tiles remind me of just a pool, like an indoor pool. This is giving like retro futurism. Like think the Jetsons. I like this. Who are you? This feels like a tech bro apartment, but like a tech bro who's in touch with their artistic side. I don't know. This one's kind of challenging. I don't want to do it. I really was digging this one, so I'm gonna take this as one of the references I'll work with. I kind of want to do a hot business person, so oh, this environment as well. I wonder if I can find like another view of this space. This is a similar vibe, but I do like the original one with like all the plants and it feels very spring and Easter. Here's what we have to work with. I'm gonna start with this girly here. This is giving kind of ethereal. Hey, by the way, I can't spell, so no one can make fun of that. Almost a little bit primitive, and maybe I'm thinking that because of the stone. Elegant. There's not a lot of softness here. I have the harsh stone with the harsh stained glass, with the harsh wood. And yeah, we have that plush couch, but otherwise not a lot is going on here. These windows are like open. Or is this... Oh no, is this an AI image? Oh no, it definitely is. Oh, I've been fooled. Should I move forward with this one? Let's come back to it. Let's come back to it. Ugh, no. It's AI generated though. See, Pinterest is so full of this slop. It took me a minute, obviously, to catch on to that. We'll come back to this one if we want to. This has to be real. Stop. This has to be real. Immediately off the bat, Easter. Bunny. This person really loves bunnies. I like the plaid, very spring. I'm someone who loves flowers. I feel like this person is very bubbly, but not overwhelming. Like they're very a positive, bubbly person. What is this window here? Is this AI generated? I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna freak out. That window doesn't feel real. Pinterest. Oh my god. Is this not real? Wait a minute. Oh no. This is AI generated. What's going on over here? This looks like a mirror. It's capturing a photo of someone, but then like their hair is kind of spilling out here. Is this AI generated? I'm gonna freak out. Okay, I'll continue with it because at this point, finding a real image on Pinterest is going to be the actual challenge here. We'll come back to this one. This person is hot. This person is hot. This here is kind of reminding me of like African art. The overall vibe of the space is giving someone who has some melanin, either physically or spiritually. The melanin. Please be real. Please, this image be real. I'm so scared. Whoever lives here strikes me as someone who has lots of money, and it feels like it's a masculine person. Feels pretty dark too, apart from this huge window on the right. I don't know what that is telling me. This person's kind of a loner. Even though it's a big space, I don't think it's a communal area. It doesn't feel like this is a space for community. And also feels very serious. Everything's super neat. Is this AI? What is this thing happening back here? I'm scared. All right, but okay. Instantly, I'm thinking Jetsons, retro, futuristic, obviously very colorful. This person is bubbly in a way that is overwhelming. Odd mixtures of like harsh edges with rounded edges. It doesn't feel very like spacey, like outer space. It does feel retro futuristic, but this feels grounded on Earth. Honestly, this feels like someone who has children, who has a family. Is this person not a person at all? Is this a robot? Whoa! Okay, now going through all of these, devastated about this one. I'm devastated. Probably not going to do this one for that reason. Not because it's AI specifically. I think I have more interesting options. This one. Sheesh, you already know I'm going to do this for sure. All right, let's start with you. Hello, you. Start with just a really rough sketch. My goal with this is to be fast and loose. Fast and loose, and just have fun with it and not get too much in my head. So instantly I'm getting the feeling that this is like not just a feminine person, but someone who is very soft. I want that feeling to come through here. So for this initial sketch, I'm just going to be so fast and loose. Do I like this pose? Let's try another one. Let's get a feel for it. Pro tip, flip your canvas. Flip your canvas. It's gonna reveal things you didn't think about. I like her. The general silhouette down. I do it this quick and messy and kind of disgusting way, but you can do. I've seen people block silhouettes like this, like just experimenting with the literal silhouette. I don't like that. I like the squibbles. So now I'm just gonna continue the theme of being fast and loose. And now that I have a general pose or silhouette or what she's doing, get into who she kind of is. Her smile is really bright. Because there's a lot of brightness to this room. It's not like loud. It doesn't have bright colors, but it's a light, airy feeling to the room. So also feel like because of the bunnies, I want her to have kind of like buck teeth. Voiceover Adriana here. You see with the expression, I still wanted to keep that theme of really rounded shapes with her eyes, her mouth, her nose. Give her like a little button nose. That was really cute. And a milkmaid dress. Honestly, okay, I should have said this beginning of the video, but hopefully people are following along. If you're watching this, doing your own rendition of this interior, I would love to see. Post it on Instagram and tag me at AVP Art, or post your handle within the comments and I'll check it out. I struggled with the hair here. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Bandana, no bandana, bow, no bow, long, short hair, fluffy, curly, whatever. Didn't know. I ended up going with the bow. Didn't want it to be too on the nose with bunny ears because we got that in the bag. I did like the short, kind of wavy curl. I loved that. Stuck with it. Felt right. Felt good. You know, originally I was like blonde, but now I'm thinking strawberry blonde. I'm gonna really quickly clean this up. Not really line it, just to really get those details buffered out in the way that I'm wanting. A lot of the times with line art, I can get really in my head about getting the perfect clean line. Hey, stop that. Don't do that. Just do the line. Draw the line. Say the line. It makes it fun to not be so in your head about these kind of things. As you can see, I was struggling with the hand. Oh my god, hands. So yeah, really the point of this was just to really get the ideas clear for coloring. Love her. I'm just gonna really quickly add some color now. I'm gonna keep our color palette fairly consistent with the room. Lots of yellows, pops of green, but mostly yellows. Cheat a little bit and grab yellow picnic pattern. For those who may not know, this is called photo bashing. I use it mostly for patterns, textures, materials, things that are like kind of intense to do by hand. Just make the process a bit faster. And I only use that at this point for the dress. I don't think I use it anywhere else. Yeah, just adding in those fun little details with the colors. Now I'm gonna give my girl some depth. Usually do that by adding a layer and adding multiply here and then setting it to mask. To this day, I still don't know what I'm doing when it comes to light and shadow. I should definitely do more studies about light and shadow. For the most part, I just wing it. I try to picture where the light source is and go from there and form as much as I can with that in mind. Okay. I saw an artist do this once, and I always like to see if I want to do it, which is duplicate the line art and then set it to Gaussian blur. It's kind of adjust the strength of it and then just the opacity as necessary. I feel like it just adds this nice little, just blur. I don't know. I like it. Crossing the finish line here, final touches include coloring in my lines, as well as adding things like stray hairs, any sort of additional shine to her accessories. Yeah, little details like that before wrap it up, call it quits. I need to stop, or else I'm gonna keep going and then butcher it. How do we feel about her? Oh my god. That was so fun. That exercise took about 2.5 hours. And it's not finished. I could pick away at this for like 3 more hours, most definitely. But that's not the purpose. I'm gonna do the next 2 tomorrow, probably. Day 2. Moving on to probably what I'm most excited about. This interior. Hot, definitely has some melanin, lots of money. I'm picturing a masculine. Pops of color here and there, but not too much. Person feels like a loner and they're very serious. Alright, same kind of approach as day 1. Just want to kind of roughly get a sense or feel for the posing. I knew I wanted this character to be a masculine figure. Not super slender, not super round, kind of athletic build with strong features, very sharp and strong features, like we're seeing in the concrete of the walls and the balcony there, with some softer elements seen in things like the couch and the plush rug. Also, as we've established, this is a businessman. This is a man who means business. A serious fellow. Yeah, I wanted to capture that within his expression, as well as his pose and his outfit. I didn't want him to feel too traditional with that outfit. I didn't want a standard suit, and I'll get more into the thought that went into that later. Bring it in color, it's the same kind of approach as day 1. I wanted to bring in a good mix of colors within the interior without it feeling too overwhelming. The interior itself is not really that colorful. There are a lot of pops of color, but it's not like everything happening all at once. You can see even the touches of blue within the interior. I just wanted to follow that same strat with adding the blue to his look. There he is. Oh my goodness. I like how he turned out. I wanted to incorporate the color palette, of course, with all these characters, but also do my best to nail the vibe. Very like businessman, but not too just like stereotypical just guy in a suit. I wanted it to feel a bit more unique, and with this what looks to be African art, I wanted to give him like a African inspired suit. I think it's called a dashiki. Yeah, like the cut of the dashiki with this like kind of collar moment, like that kind of collar. I wanted that there. And of course, bringing in those pops of color without it overwhelming the outfit or the character. Obviously, there's a lot of warm tones like these red and oranges and yellows that I wanted to bring into his fit. Also, just his overall complexion is very warm. Then we have a lot of the concrete and this pop of blue here and a little bit up on the second level as well. I was like, I don't really want to get too much blue because then I feel like it starts to become what feels unserious. And I feel like the guy who lives here is very serious businessman. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this character turned out. It is day 3. This has been so fun. Next one is gonna be the Jetsons-esque retro futuristic feeling interior. Came to the conclusion that this is a robot. I think I may change my mind as I'm getting them out there, but I think it's a robot. When I tell you I struggled the most with this character, I don't know exactly why. Maybe I'm not super familiar with drawing non-human characters. That probably was a bit of it, but it's also because I was really trying to, because it was non-human, incorporate a lot of the shapes that are within the interior, like the round ball underneath the chair with that sort of like twisty metal base that it has. And you know, because it's a robot, we gotta have some nuts and bolts. Inside the interior, there's a lot of rounded edges as well as sharp corners. And so I wanted to make sure to include that mix within this mechanical design while making it feel very retro. You'll notice the face is a retro toy robot. That's what I took inspiration from for the face. Coloring is where you'll see I was indecisive AF. I originally landed on blue, which you'll see the journey I go on with the colors, because orange, like you're seeing me experiment with here, feels so overwhelming. And it feels like orange is the predominant theme in the interior, but not really. And that's what I was struggling with. Orange is really just in the upper parts of the interior on the wall and the back wall, as well as the balls underneath the chair. But the blue, though not super overwhelming, is what really grounded that space and eventually is what I landed with for the base of this robot. Though I wanted her to feel really retro and kind of even a little bit off-putting and creepy, I still wanted to make notes with the apron as well as her hair and what she has in hand that she's a caretaker. And here she is. What do we think? This one was the most challenging one for me, but I think ended up being the most fun appearance, at least. I'm really proud of the coiled hair. So that does it for making characters based off of nothing else but an image of an interior environment. That was super cool, super fun, a little challenging, but not too insanely challenging where I felt paralyzed. I encourage everyone to do this. Let me know what you think about my interpretations of the interiors. If you like them, if you didn't, please be nice about it. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see some more. Thank you for watching.